Hello and good afternoon, everybody. If you're coming from my tabletop orchestral series, it's super good to have you here, and thank you for your support. I'm here to introduce you to where you can get my music and a bunch of other stuff that will, I think, really push your tabletop forward. And of course, all the music and any sound in this video will all be done by yours truly. So, some of you know that I've been working very closely with my partner, who otherwise is known as Psychorg, who is an incredible artist and animator. She's been a player in almost every one of my games, and her work has given my games life in a way that I just could never have anticipated. Together we decided to create Red and Rhyme. So it's a little independent duo here that I guess is designed around the idea that we're creating synchronized assets, digital art and audio packs for your tabletop games. Just like you can go out and get some amazing tile sets that will really push your games forward. There's all kinds of different creators out there, and as a dungeon master or game master myself, I find that you never really go and stop at one place just to get everything, because there are so many incredible artists out there and so many different ways that you can use them to tell your stories and to create the maps that you want to make, that I don't think any one creator is going to have everything you need, and we're definitely not trying to do that. But we do want to sort of join that community and present a whole bunch of new art, new assets that, we're going to try and push it forward in our own way, come up with some maybe different ideas that you might not have seen. And while it's still early days, I hope you can see that through her work, that between the two of us, there is a lot of potential. So, again, to those of you supporting me through Tabletop Orchestral, and there's my cat, I'm not going to cut that out, I can't be bothered. To those of you supporting me through Tabletop Orchestral, okay, maybe I'm going to have to cut that out. Come here! Oh! Oh, she's deleted the thing. Okay, okay, so what I was trying to say is that I'm not going to stop uploading to YouTube. Playing series is going to keep going. The only difference is that you can actually have somewhere where you can access high quality downloads of all my music, and you'll get licensed. They'll be licensed rather for YouTube and Twitch broadcasts and everything. You'll get everything I've made so far and everything I'm going to make. And that'll be through our Patreon for $10 a month, and that will get you all of that. It'll also get you everything that Freya and I will be doing otherwise. So here I've kind of set it out with sound design and music on the left, art and animation on the right, and the sound design and music, half of it is on the $10 tier, and the art specifically is in the $5 tier. If we get enough attention, enough people who are interested in it, we're going to open up the animated side of things, but because that's a little bit more complex, we're sort of just waiting to see how people react. But for now, what I'm really here to do is introduce our first ever asset pack. So we've been working on filling a void that I've observed in asset packs for tabletop in regards to horses and mounts. A lot of the time in my own games, I find that players want to be able to choose a horse that suits them. And at some points, it's very simple, from like one guy wants a dapple horse while another one wants a grey, like just a plain grey or a black horse with a white mane and all of this stuff. But in terms of the assets available to you that you'll find out there, a lot of the time it's just one or a couple different horse variations with maybe a couple different coloured saddles, but that's kind of it. And I think that because the horse is not only a companion but also responsible for carrying all your gear, the way that your horse looks can be a massive indicator of what kind of character you have, what kind of life they lead, from hiring a simple bit of transport to a long time companion like Roach and Geralt from The Witcher, for example. And the horses that you find are often can be an indication of where you are in the world. Your dungeon master might say that this type of horse is more expensive than another type of horse, or is specific to this cultural part of the world. So anyway, I'll get on with it. You can access this asset pack through the $5 Scribe tier over at Patreon, and I'm going to show you right now how to put it all together. Okay, so with this pack, it is admittedly going to rely quite heavily on how much you want to put into it. It's great for players and DMs, but it's as complex as you want to make it, I guess. You're gonna need an image editing software. GIMP is free, Photoshop is paid, but having used both of them for this, I actually found myself liking GIMP a little bit more. It just felt just a lot easier to navigate and get everything set up. But look, at the end of the day, they all do basically the same thing. So for the sake of it, I'm going to use GIMP just so that I can get everybody on board. So you will have the horse pack, one would hope, and in it you'll have a bunch of different folders, and you'll want to navigate to those by going up here to File, Open, and I've already got mine set up here, but I'll just go to my downloads where mine would be. And once you find it, you want to click this little plus button here. I've already got mine set up, but what it'll do is add it here as a shortcut, so that every time you want to add an asset, all you got to do is click here and it'll take you straight to this, and it'll make it way easier. Now, like I said, you get out what you're going to put in. So I have some pre-mades here, which are, as the name implies. But if all you want is just a horse, then in all honesty, you don't even need to open up GIMP. You can just grab one of these horses. You don't need to add anything to it. You can plug it straight into whatever virtual tabletop you're using, and you're done. So that would be perfect for if you just wanted a wild horse or something like that. But to keep it simple, the very first thing I'm going to do is just chuck a saddle on one of these. So I'm going to pick a common breed. Here you go. So once it's in, you're not going to have a lot of room to start adding things, so you need to change the size of the canvas. So you go up to Image, Canvas Size, and I just go 2000 by 2000 just to give myself room, and you can click in here in the middle and just drag it out so that it's resized around the horse bit a bit better. There you go. Perfect. So now you have plenty of room. So, I'm not a GIMP master. I'm not gonna lie, but it works relatively simple, in a simple fashion, like most image editing softwares do. These little guys will resize from, I think, different points. Clicking on the diamonds will slant like this. If you're just on the outside edge of this line, this main box, it'll rotate like this. And don't touch this. This is the no touch zone, so don't touch that. Don't ask me why, okay? Just don't do it. Now my cat is walking in front of the thing again. Okay. Anyway, position it somewhere near the bottom there. Just make sure you don't cut off the end of the tail, and hit enter. Now, the hotkey for immediately opening a new thing as a layer is Control, Alt, and O. Immediately you're back here. You click on the shortcut, and you can work your way up. I'm actually just going to go with a saddle for now, because, how more simple can you get? It's just chucking a saddle on a horse and you're ready to go, right? A whole bunch of different saddles here that can sort of fit the different aesthetics that you want. I'm going to go with a black simple. And you could just do that and you're done. There's no harm in that. I think that the saddle is a little big, so I'm going to just resize it from here, drag it up maybe a little bit more like that. Boom, hit enter, and that's it. You're basically done. You could call that done. But I am going to add a little bit more to it, so Control, Alt, and O, just like before. Back here, I'm going to add some bags to it, because you need bags. How are you going to carry all your stuff if you don't have bags, right? So you've got bags as a set, which are just one big image full of, a bunch of different bags. There's a whole bunch of different color schemes for those, and patterns. And then you also have individual bags that are just small individual assets that you can move around and place on the horse wherever you want. Again, if you want to go simple, grab a bag set. If you want more control over where the bags go and exactly how they go, pick the individual bags, or a combination of the two. So I'm going to go with bag standard. If this comes up, just hit convert. And, you know, you could do it kind of like that. I think it's a little small, so I'll upsize it a touch like this. I think that lines up okay. Boom, hit enter, and again, you technically could be done here if you just wanted a saddle and bags. But there's so much more on offer. For this one, I think, yeah, we'll go into bag styles. So bag styles work only on if you pick bags as a set like this. These are, again, if you want to go down the route of just grabbing something simple and you don't want like heaps of individual assets that you have to manage, you can grab a bag style, and I'll go with the, let's see, what's a good one? We'll go with the champion. So what this is, it was drawn over these bags as a set. It's designed to fit on these bags as a set. Now, obviously, if you've resized the bags, you'll need to resize the set, the style as well. And some will be a little bit harder than others to get right, but at the end of the day, I mean, if I just did that, that's not so bad. I mean, it looks like the water skin is attached to there, and the hammer's kind of slung over the side, and all of this kind of fits alright. And, you know, now we're starting to get a lot of stuff packed on here. I would probably call this done. I wouldn't do much else to it, but I think it's a good time to introduce some of the accessories that we have on offer. So you've got axes, bows, crates that you can chuck on the back, flails, you know, you can go through it in your own time, but we'll just grab a simple shield, a step shield maybe, chuck it on the front like this, and we'll grab, give it a second, there we go, and we'll grab a sword as well. Oh, cat's knocking everything over. And we'll grab a sword as well. We'll go saber. Like that. Now, you can sort of rotate that however you want to make it look. I don't know how I want this one to kind of go. Maybe like this for simplicity's sake. You can see how you can really add in a lot here, and it can get pretty crazy if you're not careful. And there are scabbards for each of the swords, and there is an empty and a filled version of each scabbard. So I'll show you both. Here's saber with the saber sheathed, and here's saber with the scabbard empty. So of course here we have the saber drawn, so we are going to use the empty scabbard, upsize it to fit, whoop, slanted it, upsize it to fit with the upsized saber, and I'll just chuck it on the back like that. And, you know, I didn't spend a lot of time on getting this right, but it was a pretty quick build, and I would say that's done. What else could we do? I'll show you something else in a new one, but let's say this is done, right? Let's go ahead and go image, fit canvas to layers. There we go. That's better. This will make the individual asset a lot easier to manage inside your virtual tabletop thing, because I don't know what the word would be, just the size of it will be a bit better. So this is ready to go. You go up here, File, Export As, and well, I'll just save it in pre-mades, I guess. I will go over a couple of little extra things before I move off of this. So, let's see. Let's open up a new horse. Get ourselves a skinny horse. And we'll go the snow. Again, you go image, canvas size. Just can't be bothered hitting the 0, you know. Like that. Alright, let's do this pretty quick. With this one, I'll show the layering a bit. So you've got hoods and comparisons are essentially like the cloth that goes over the horse, underneath the armor and stuff. Of course, you can make your horse look however you want. You don't really need to listen to what might have technically been done with actual horses, but look, we'll go with no, we'll do a knight. So we'll go the Wounded Knight's hood. It's a little bit big, so scale it down. And apparently a little bit transparent. That's interesting. I'm just sort of slanting it to fit a bit better. Oh, it's only transparent because I can... okay. No, see, that's me being a bit silly. Comparisons. Now, in the comparisons, we'll find the matching one. Wounded. Yeah. These can give a bit of faux size to the horse. You could, I mean, this is a skinny horse, but if I do this, now he looks like a big horse. So you can use the comparisons to give a sort of a faux sense of shape that doesn't need to necessarily adhere to the size of the horse. But we'll try to keep it small, like this. Some hoods look okay layered above the comparison, but I like them underneath like that. Now that we've got the comparison, we'll do some armor. At the moment, there's only 3 armor sets, but we're going to release more. We'll go with just regular old plate. Make sure that it's above. There we go. Now you could totally, put armor on without a comparison. There's no need. Depends on what you want to do, but I think it's looks a little bit nicer. We'll grab a helmet. You'll need to make sure it's layered underneath the armor. And again, just resize and slant it however you want to make it fit the way that you want. I'm going to just go with that. It's up to you how you want to do it. And of course, if the helmet is covering the hood, at the end of the day, the hood doesn't even really need to be there. So there are some times where you'll find that you can just place some of these over high hierarchy assets down first to give the impression that there's something underneath them, when there's really no necessity to actually place those things underneath them. We'll go the Moonlight Saddle. Oh, I've touched the no-no zone. I said not to do that. Chuck it over the middle like this. I don't think I'm going to resize that. I think I'm going to leave it. Get some bags. Just some small ones. Maybe we'll go individual bags. Pile them on. Let me get a grey one. Oh, this is a good opportunity actually to say, if you wish, you can go into some of these ones that have colour in them, and I touched the no-no zone. Go up to colours, hue and saturation, and you can play around a little bit with these to change the colours to make everything fit a certain colour scheme or brightness. But just be careful, because with some of them, the shading that was used actually has colour in it. So if you're not careful, it'll look very strange. But, this one looks okay, and we can make it a bit darker like that. There you go. And actually, I will take this opportunity to show another sort of more complex thing you could try doing if you really want to break the mold. You could grab these bags as a set, and say, as an example, you want these 2 at the top, but you don't want these. There's nothing saying you can't just grab the lasso tool over here, or any type of select tool, and just... Oh, I thought it would be that simple. There you go. Just delete the bit that you don't want, and then you're good to go. And I need to figure out how to escape this nightmare of things. There we go. I guess that's good enough. So, maybe I want that, and then I want the top bags of this one. So I'll go in over here. Delete. Oh, wait. That's the opposite of what I wanted. Oh, if you copy and paste something, GIMP makes it for some reason, a floating layer. So what you need to do is go over and go to new layer. I think it's here, the thing's covering it, there you go. And that'll turn it into an actual layer. You can drag that over. There you go, Crazy Town. Of course, this same concept can be used with the bag styles. I'll grab the bard as an example. If you've been messing around with the bag as a set, you'll need to account for that if you try to put on a bag style where... Oh, I see, I have to actually cut it out. Like that. Where you'll need to sort of resize and realign these things if you've been messing around with them. Like so. But again, it can be used to mix and match the assets from these sets as you wish. So I took the top half of the bard, and maybe I'll scoop out the bottom half of the farmer, you know? I mean, look, I don't even have to scoop it out because this actually looks okay as it is. This looks alright. Oops, there we go. I actually like that. There we go. Because it kind of looks like the book and the dagger are sitting on top of these little pots and pans and stuff. So, you know, there's a lot of stuff that you can do with this and to break it up, and I'll show you that because you're messing around with human saturation, that's going to change everything. So here's an example of some funky business, because here it's like, I don't know, these could be blueberries and apples, right? But if you start changing here, you want like this cloth to look different, you're like, oh yeah, green cloth, that's awesome. But meanwhile, now your flax is turned to lettuce, your blueberries and boysenberries, green apples, you know, that's not too bad. But you just got to account for that, because that looks a little funky. But yeah, I will just speed through some other ones, and then I'll show you some stuff in Foundry. So thank you for sitting through that. Thank you for sticking around for this long, if you have. It was a long video, but I wanted to make sure to get this out, not only to introduce what we do, but also to introduce the asset pack. I know it's a little fiddly for a first pack, but hopefully it's something that you can use, something that you can get something out of, and our next one will be a lot easier to use. Just chuck something down and it's done. So, but I think there's some merit in these customizable packs. So let us know your thoughts. And yeah, I hope to see you in our Patreon Discord.